So I'm Dawid Lewandowski. I work for Cognifide. I would like to say that I am experienced developer, but instead of that, I say that I have 6 years experience with Sling and whole stuff around it. And today I would like to speak with you shortly about Sling Dynamic Include. From my experience, it is nothing new. Probably or maybe most of you are familiar with that tool, but from my experience, it turns out that very often this small library is underestimated. So Kuba also, during his talk today, he mentioned mention Sling Dynamic Include also, but take a closer look. So let's discuss shortly concept of the tool, which is also quite simple. We have Sling filter, which works on component level, and when we are rendering a page, and based on configuration, which is stored inside in SDI, we could tell that some certain component, we don't want to render certain component during rendering a page. We just want to render SSI placeholder instead of that. And after that, when the response is go to Apache, Apache detects SSI tags, make additional requests for this markup, which is inside where end path is provided in that placeholder, and after that it combines both HTMLs. It means that it takes the original one and replaces the SSI tag with response from Sling. So this is how the architecture looks like. We have Apache. After that, we have dispatcher and Sling. So when we are requesting a single page, then on Sling level we are producing HTML with SSI tag. After that, the page could be cached on dispatcher level. And when Apache see SSI tag inside HTML document, then it makes additional requests for that content. And on the end, it combines this both responses and return it to the user. So the question is when to use it. So nowadays, we have a lot of dynamic pages. What I mean by dynamic, I mean our pages are built with components which needs to display some real data or they are conditionally rendered, depends on some, I don't know, cookies, etc., etc. So, and on the other hand, we would like to cache these pages, because when we don't do it, then very quickly we'll get our server will be down. So how to make these pages cacheable? Because we are not able to cache everything, because when we do it, then when a page will be cached on dispatcher level, then all next users will get the same content, but we don't want to do it. So we can use SDI in this case. As you can see, we are making requests for a Sling. We are making requests for the Sling where SSI tag is produced. And then on Apache level, we are making requests for our dynamic content. During rendering this SSI tag, we are able to add some custom selector which says that please don't cache this HTML on dispatcher level. And during next request, we will just make a call for this single component, and whole page will be taken from our dispatcher. So another case when this tool could be used is the shared content. Now, each page is built in the same way. Always we have the same pattern that each page has header, body, and footer. So the requirement is very often that the header and footer needs to be authorable, because we are working with in CMS Word, so of course they should be authorable. And also they should be stored in as a separate page, because we would like to apply change in one single place, and after that we would like to have mechanisms which spread this change to all our pages, which are somehow connected with our configuration page. So how we can use, in this case, our Sling dynamic include? So we could say that header and footer, we will requesting header and footer separately. So in this case, when we are requesting page A, then everything looks exactly the same. But we are making separate call for Sling to get the content of our header, and after that, this content is stored on dispatcher level. So when another user would like to get page B, then we don't have to make this additional call for header, because we can use it from our dispatcher. It is already rendered, so we can just take it. Also, it has huge impact and benefits are that our pages are lighter. We don't have to render everything, because we just render this is what is really needed. And on the other hand, it has great benefit for our cache invalidation rules, because even if we would like to make change on header or footer level, then we need to invalidate just single page, not whole content of our site. So as we can see, so how we can use it and when it is right. So SDI is transparent for components, so we shouldn't worry about that. And also SDI is transparent for authors. So if it isn't, then something is wrong probably with our application. But whole stuff, just to configure SDI, we should provide some OSGI configuration, and that's it. Also provide some improvements on our Apache level, and that's all. So it should be very fast. So as you can see, size doesn't matter in this case, because this very, very small tool may have great and positive impact on performance of our application. That's all. Thank you.